This is a Blackstalgia podcast.
All right, so welcome back to the show. This past week, we saw something kind of interesting happen. Ice Cube worked, he's created something called a contract with Black America. And he went to both the Joe Biden camp and the Trump camp and pitched it to them. And I guess the Joe Biden camp told him, come back to us after we win the election. And the Trump campaign said, come on in, let's hear what you have to say. And they did some amendment to the platinum package, the deal with Black America that Trump created or Trump's team created, let me say that to be a little bit more accurate. And swiftly, Ice Cube got canceled on Twitter. I'm not sure if it's Twitter or if it's Black Twitter. I didn't look too deeply into the cancellation, but I can say that on average, what most people are saying is A, we shouldn't work with him, and B, we shouldn't be making these kind of pitches about 2 weeks before the election. Now, me personally, I can understand appealing to whoever's in charge. You know, I can understand, saying, all right, well, if we want something, we can go out and get that. Now, the timing may seem a little bit odd, because we are 3+ years deep. We're several days away from an election, and not much can happen. Not much can happen within the next couple of months, before power gets swapped. Mm-hmm. So did that rub you guys any kind of way? Ice Cube? And maybe I should give you a little bit of background on Ice Cube. As far as business goes, I do remember he partnered up with LL Cool J and they got major funding. I want to say over $1 billion to support some kind of tech company. I can only imagine it's a company that's making apps or software. He owns and runs and operates the Big Three League, which is the basketball team that hires ex-professional basketball players and allows them to play, post-career. So he's a guy who does big business, you could say. So I can understand the appeal if he was just like some rapper, but he's a guy who's got his hand into Black business and he's secured a lot of funding. So I can understand why Ice Cube specifically would make financial requests upon the government. Now, with that being said, does that rub you guys the wrong way, right way, or are you somewhere in the middle?
I guess it's not surprising or anything about Ice Cube or that it's him. I guess it's kind of like the timing thing that you were talking about. Is like, really, what can you do from now to November 3rd? And then it's been so long. So I guess when I saw that, I was just kind of confused.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, huh. And I don't know if I had much thought after that other than I just, that, like,
odd.
that's just, odd.
I can understand if he thinks Trump is going to win again, because then it's like, believe it or not, there are undecided voters, and so I think that if you take into account that 2016 happened and everybody assumed he was going to lose, if you take that situation into account and then you say like, well, what if it happens again? What can we pursue that will help us on the opposite side of if it happens again, and with certain things that have happened, I think that you can assume that maybe I do want to put my finger in that just in case, kind of like insurance, so I'm kind of in the middle, me personally. I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea to go speak to people that you don't like if it has the people's better interest at hand, and I also don't think that it's unreasonable to ask these things of our current administration, only because they do show that on the financial side, they're not that scared to just say like, here's some money, So that's why I kind of stand in the middle. I do understand everybody's way of thinking of like, well, this guy is the oppression, he's the oppressor, we shouldn't be talking with him. But that also means that, like, should Trump win again, are we going to have 4 stalemate years? And I think that this situation kind of sets a precedent for what we want to happen in the next 4 years. With that being said, I also think it's important that we reach out to the other side and demand the same kind of things, you know, because ultimately this is a very moral situation that we're in, you know, where people feel like one candidate speaks more to their sense of morality than ever before, you know. And so now, will your demands overshadow or oversee how you feel about a specific person more than what's better for these groups of people that need, want, or request more in life? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, Ice Cube is not canceled to me, you know, and I think that he had good intentions. Now, everybody knows that good old saying, the highway to hell is paved with good intentions. And I'm not trying to go to hell, man.
Nobody is. You know? Nobody is.
Some people are. Some people. Well, I guess some people. I mean, they test it. I want to. I know a couple of Wiccans.
Don't out them, bro.
I won't. Like I say their name. How you feel, Rashawn?
I don't want to say I get it because I don't.
You don't get it.
No, I don't, because the election's already started, you know?
Yeah, I voted today.
Awesome.
Oh, yay.
So I think given who's in the administration right now and given what they have shown themselves to be over the past 4 years, in the middle of the election, I don't see the benefit in reaching across the aisle to the other side. I think all of our efforts should be put towards getting them out of office. In a perfect world, if it was just Democrat, Republican, and 2 very capable opponents, I could see the benefit in what he did. But when you're dealing with someone like Trump and McConnell and Pence, you know, it just doesn't. Being someone like Ice Cube who has reach and who has voice and who has a platform, I just don't see the benefit in saying, well, let me reach out to both sides. I understand he reached out to both campaigns and one got back to him. I get it. So that fault lies with the Biden campaign because they didn't respond. They should have.
Yeah.
But
well, should they have? I don't know. Because, like, who's Ice Cube?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying anybody could say, sure, you're famous. Sure, you're successful. But there's a lot of successful people.
Yeah.
So, like, why you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I guess in a moment in time when if you're Black, Hispanic, Latino, gay, lesbian, trans, if you're a woman, there is no seeing both points of view. There is possible hope, and then on the other side there is oppression and discrimination and a bad outlook.
Yeah.
So I think if you fall into any one of those camps, it should just be, we have one goal right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw this story kind of break out, I kind of supported Ice Cube, you know, in saying it, just because, like, it is a financial thing. And for me, green is the almighty color in this country, and I said, well, again, recent history shows that the parting of money from the government to specific groups of quote unquote marginalized people is not non-existent. It does not exist. But when somebody presented the idea of the specific timing, I do feel like it's a little, but every day towards this election has been 7 weeks.
Really though, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something happens just about every day.
Yeah.
And then it takes 5 days for people to be like, okay, what's next? But then you find out that 5 days later is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't mind forcing leaders into specific positions, because if you're going to take the job, it's going to come with some heat, so that's why I think it's very touch and go on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't want to say I don't know, because I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle, just like I kind of always am, somewhere in the middle. What's right, what's wrong, and then let's be somewhere in the middle. Now, with that being said, as I decided to vote today, I saw something that was very, very interesting. Kanye West was on my ballot, but he wasn't on there to be the president. He was on there as a vice president. Y'all didn't see that?
I know. I've only seen screenshots of like write-ins.
Yeah, no, he was on mine. He was on mine, and it was for him as a vice president. And you saw it too?
Yeah.
I took a video, but I unfortunately didn't save it. But I thought that was very odd. Does this guy know what he's running for?
I don't think so. I really don't.
I don't think he turned it in on time. That's why he's vice.
Oh, because he is kind of touch and go on this thing. Like, he's just like, 1 week, I'll do it. No, okay, I get that.
I don't know who's president running it is.
I have no idea who it is either. I saw the name, but it just seems very odd. But I guess that explanation makes sense. He's probably just taking a little too much time peeing on Grammys.
Oh, man.
But
it would be funny if it's him as the primary too. He just changed the name, so he's like, no one's gonna know what this is.
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
It also came to my attention that like I didn't want to be somebody that put in my mail-in vote. I'm a little like hesitant, about the
mail-in.
Yeah, the mail-in thing. I was very like, I'm gonna just go stand in line.
Yeah.
I'm a person that doesn't like ordering things online. I don't enjoy the wait. I just don't like any of that stuff. I just want to go to the store and buy things and leave with it. And then like, if it doesn't work, I'll bring it back to the store.
Yeah.
But so I order from Amazon like once a year. I'm
Your mom's
that guy.
birthday.
My mom's birthday. I just don't enjoy the online process. And so with that being said, online is all kind of hand in hand with the mailing system. And I've lost like our ATM that we use here went to the wrong address. My ballot, I got one in Florida, went to my house in Florida. At my current address, I got one, and I got like 4 other people that don't live at my address. So I was already just kind of like, it seems kind of dicey. I'd rather go stand in line and do it. But I have to work that day. I found out that I have a long day on November 3rd. So I was just like, well, I guess this is my only option, So I filled it out and whatnot.
So you did mail it in?
I am going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I filled it out, and then it's in my bag now.
You're not going to put it in that box?
So it's not the mailbox, is it?
It's like a specific box. It says the ballot box is yellow and blue. And
oh, okay.
I see them on the sides of the road.
You trust it?
I don't know. They say that's the official one to use.
Yeah.
If you're going to put it in a ballot box.
I don't know, man. It kind of sketches me a little bit.
The thing is the
Yeah.
locations where I'm finding them. Like one was outside a park, and I was like, I don't know who
Yeah.
who decided to paint this box. And
You
put
know
it
how
in
the
here.
mailbox, you can close it and you like can't reach back in?
Yeah, this one too.
Oh, it's the same thing? Okay. Well, yeah, I guess so. But the props ones have all the prop propositions. Those have all really caught my attention as well. In a moment of transparency, I will say I did my best to vote frugally.
Okay.
Because I think that our current state is just too expensive. Like, it's just too expensive to live here, you know, and do business here and all that kind of stuff. Now, that doesn't mean that I did that like all the way down the line, but I had to do a lot of Googling, you know, because I wanted to be really informed about what I'm voting for.
That's what I do every time.
Year?
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember the last time in 2016, I went in pretty sure I knew what I was going to vote for. And then there was like a long list of things that I did not. I was like, what is this? Like,
yeah.
You know, I was like, I did my homework. And then here's 10 new things that I just had no clue.
It's like a little quiz or like a test.
Yeah. And I don't think you can Google when you're in the poll area. No. You can't like pull your phone out.
I mean, you just can't take pictures of your ballot.
Oh, okay.
So don't post that one you have.
He just sent it to me.
Oh, I sent it to you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There you go. So, do you remember the name?
I don't, because I just remember seeing Kanye and being like, oh my God.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought maybe it was someone else. Not a joke, but like, because it says your full name on it.
Right.
So, I saw Kanye Omari.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is somebody else. But then I was like, West.
Wait. Yeah.
Is his name just backwards?
Yeah, no, so I saw that and I thought that was very odd. But yeah, you know, I think for the state of California, one good thing that they put on there is pretty much how much it's like the financial impact. And it was just like, this means your taxes will go up by blah, blah, blah. Not necessarily that, but it means that it'll cost the state a lot more money, tens of millions. Anything that said tens of millions, hundreds of millions, I was just like, relax. But then if there was one that was just like, this will up your everything by a couple $100,000. And I was just like, okay,
Sure.
it's understandable. So, yeah, you know, I think that right now, like the pedal on expenses is just so high that it's understandable why the average person would just be like, dude, no. Like, I remember a few years ago, I went to the dentist and the lady who sat in the front, who was like writing everything down, probably a medical assistant or something, she was just like, you have any kids? I was like, absolutely not. And she was just like, do you like living here? I was like, it's fine. And she was like, you're still young. I was like, don't talk to me like that. What are you saying? She was like, I want to have a house. And I was like, me too. She was like, where do you think you're going to buy that?
Not here, honey.
And after that conversation, it went on for some time. But after that conversation, I really thought about it, you know, and I really was just like, how could we, in this specific state, which is a cash rich state, but filled with poor people, how can things change? And so that's what I went into voting. You know, it's just such a big deal. And I would love to see California be that California. You know what I mean? Where things are just prosperous and people are like living good lives and nobody has to worry that much. It's something that I feel like, remember I went to the gym with you the other day and I walked to my car and that was like on my mind.
After the gym?
No, before the gym. I woke up and it was just like, why is there so many poor people?
Oh, was it that day that you were like, I woke up mad?
Yeah, I did. I woke up mad and I was just upset. I was just like, there's so many poor people here. But it doesn't have to be this way. Yeah. And I'm not even talking about homeless people. I'm talking about just broke. Yeah, just people who like most of their money doesn't belong to them.
Right. Paycheck to paycheck.
Sad. Yeah, it makes me sad. You know, so that's how I voted.